Welcome to yet another edition of reading of Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes is also known as or the preacher, Ecclesiastes or the preacher, book from the Holy Bible, and it is the words of the preacher, the son of David, the king in Jerusalem. And today I'll be reading chapters 4 and 5 together. Chapter 4 has only 16 verses and chapter 5 has 20 verses. So I'll be reading both together. So here we go. Chapter 4. So I returned and considered all the oppressions that are done under the sun. And behold, the tears of such as were oppressed, and they had no comforter. And on the side of their oppressors there was power, and they had no comforter. Wherefore I praise the dead which are already dead more than the living which are yet alive. Yes, better is he than both they which has not yet been, who has not yet seen evil work that is done under the sun. Again I considered all travail and every right work, that for this man is envied of his neighbour. This is also a vanity and vexation of the spirit. The fool foldeth his hands together and eateth his own flesh. Better is a handful with quietness than both the hands full with travail and vexation of spirit. Then I returned and saw vanity under the sun. There is one alone, and there is not second. Yes, he has neither child nor brother. Yet is there no end of all his labor, neither is his eye satisfied with his riches. Says he, for whom do I labor, and bereave my soul of good? This is also vanity. Yes, it is a sore travail. Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he has not another to help him up. Again, if two lie together, then they have heat. But how can one be warm alone? And if one prevail against him, two shall withstand him, and a threefold cord is not quickly broken. Better is a poor and a wise child than an old and foolish king, who will no more be admonished. For out of prison he cometh to reign, whereas also he that is born in his kingdom becometh poor. I considered all the living which walk under the sun, with a second child that shall stand up in his stead. There is no end of all people, even of all that have been before him. They also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this is also vanity and vexation of spirit. So that is the end of chapter 4. Chapter 5. Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of God, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil. Be not rash with thy mouth, and let not thine heart be hasty to utter anything before God. For God is in heaven, and thou upon earth. Therefore let thy words be few. For a dream cometh through the multitude of business, and a fool's voice is known by the multitude of his words. When thou vowest a vow unto God, defer not to pay it. For he has no pleasure in fools. Pay that which thou hast vowed. Better is it that thou should not vow, pay that, than that thou should vow and not pay. Suffer not thy mouth to cause thy flesh to sin, neither say thou before the angel that it was an error. Wherefore should God be angry at thy voice and destroy the work of thy hands? For in the multitude of dreams and many words there are also divers vanities. But fear thou of God. If thou seest the oppression of the poor, and violent perverting of judgment and justice in a province, marvel not at the matter. For he that is higher than the highest regardeth, and there be higher than they. Moreover, the profit of the earth is for all. The king himself is served by the field. He that loveth silver shall not be satisfied with silver, nor he that loveth abundance with increase. This is also vanity. When goods increase, they are increased that eat them. And what good is there to the honours thereof, saving the beholding of them with their eyes. The sleep of the laboring man is sweet, whether he eat little or much, but the abundance of the rich will not suffer him to sleep. There is a sore evil which I have seen under the sun, namely, riches kept for the honours thereof to their hurt. But those riches perish by evil travail, and he begetteth a son, and there is nothing in his hand. And he come forth of his mother's womb naked, shall he return, to go as he came, and shall take nothing of his labour, which he may carry away in his hand. And this is also a sore evil, that in all points as he came, so shall he go. And what profit hath he that has laboured for the wind? As all his days also he has eaten in darkness, and he hath much sorrow and wrath, which is with his sickness. Behold, that which I have seen, it is good and comely for one to eat and drink, and to enjoy the good of all his labour, that he taketh under the sun all the days of his life, which God has given him, for it is his portion. Every man also to whom God has given riches and wealth, and has given him power to eat thereof, and to take his portion, and to rejoice in his labour, this is the gift of God. For he shall not much remember the days of his life, because God answers him in the joy of his heart. That ends chapter 4 and 5 of the book of Ecclesiastes from the Holy Bible.